dark of the night, whispers of deceit.
Shadows dance on the walls.
Secrets they repeat. A shadowed figure
With eyes full of lies.
hiding truths in the shadows where no one dares to pry. Uncover the truth, yet the lies come undone. Peel back the layers until the light is shown. Uncover the truth, let the shadows run. Break free from the chains and find the sun. Uncover the truth in the dead of the night, where secrets lie hidden like a whispered bite. Uncover the truth in the dim of the light, where betrayals take root in the heart of the fight. In the rain-soaked streets under...
All right, welcome to Bloodlines and Betrayals. We're talking the Rae Carruth case. This is quite an interesting case. It's a sad case. Unfortunately, Steve Cully could not be with us today, so it's just me, my glorious face, speaking to you about the Rae Carruth case on Bloodlines and Betrayals. This podcast, we peel back the headlines and uncover the humanity and the horror beneath. I'm your host, Coach Schumann. Today we revisit a story that shook the sports world. A story of fame, fear, and a terrible, terrible choice. This is the case of Rae Carruth.
Sinister might, a knife in the dark, a scream that rings clear, betrayals cold.
Let's talk about Rae Carruth. Rae Carruth was a fantastic football player. Ray Lamar Wiggins, later known as Rae Carruth, was born in Sacramento, California. From an early age, he was fast, focused, and driven. At the University of Colorado, Rae Carruth became an All-American wide receiver. By 1997, he was a first-round draft pick for the Carolina Panthers, and everything seemed to be pointed up. Fame, money, stardom, but there were cracks in the armor. An injury in the second season, legal troubles, and a paternity suit that forced him to pay thousands of dollars each month behind the smile of the NFL's golden boy was unraveling. Then Rae Carruth enters a relationship with Cherika Adams, 24 years old, a real estate agent, vibrant, independent. She met Rae Carruth at a party in Charlotte. Friends say there was chemistry, but also distance. When Cherika became pregnant, Ray's warmth turned cold. He allegedly urged her to end the pregnancy and get an abortion. She refused. In her diary later, but aloud in court, she wrote, "He's been cold lately. I think he's scared." Scared or scheming, nobody knew yet what was going to be unfolded. And then came the night of the shooting. On November 16th, 1999, late night in Charlotte, Ray and Cherika went to see The Bone Collector. If you remember, that was a movie, The Bone Collector. I believe it starred Julia Roberts. I can't remember now. But it was a mystery of a murder. They left the theater, two cars, his SUV in front of her BMW behind. As they drove home, Carruth's SUV slowed. A second car pulled up alongside Cherika's rented vehicle. Inside, Van Brett Watkins Sr., the triggerman, 4 shots, neck, back, shoulder. Somehow she steered off the road and was able to dial 911. Her voice trembled, but she was clear. Rae Carruth was in front of me. Another car pulled up. I think Ray set me up. She was rushed to the hospital and right into surgery. Because she was pregnant, amazingly, they were able to save her baby, Chancellor Lee Adams. But oxygen deprivation left him permanently brain damaged, and Cherica never woke up. She died 4 weeks later. Unbelievably sad story. Uh, just things went wrong. What went wrong in this relationship here? Cherica Adams, who was 24 years old, she was a real estate agent. She developed a relationship with Rae Carruth. That relationship went sour. That's one of the most crazy, crazy things that has happened. She met him at a party, and it was a difficult situation. It's amazing how um, it led down this path. Ray was eventually arrested and released on a $3 million bond. The condition: if Cherica or the baby died, he'd surrender. When she died, he ran. 4 days later, the police found him hiding. That was crazy. He was in the trunk of a Toyota in Tennessee, inside a cell phone, a water jug, candy bars, and cash. A man literally hiding from the world that he had built. Um, Eventually, it goes to trial in October of 2000. The state of North Carolina versus Rae Carruth. The prosecution claimed Carruth orchestrated the hit to avoid child support. The key witness, the shooter, Van Brett Watkins Sr., he testified that Carruth offered him $10,000 to make Cherica disappear. Crazy. Carruth's defense said it was a drug deal gone wrong, but phone records, the calls before and after shooting pointed into a very, very different picture. After 4 days of deliberation, on the case, um, the jury delivered a split decision. The guilty of conspiracy to commit murder, guilty of using an instrument to destroy an unborn child, guilty of firing into an occupied vehicle, but not guilty of first-degree murder. Carruth was sentenced to 18 years and 11 months to 24 years and 4 months in prison. Incredibly sad story. Now for the nuances. First, the bail clause. The surrender if she dies rule was suggested by his own agent. It backfired spectacularly when he fled. Obviously, that's kind of crazy. Second, the jurors later said they wanted a second-degree murder option, but it wasn't allowed. That one detail changed his fate. And then third, in court, Carruth barely flinched except once when the 911 tape played. He dropped his head and whispered, "Oh God." You know, it's crazy to know what was going on in his head. I don't know if a lot was at that time. Fourth, teammates described him as paranoid after his 1998 injury, obsessed with money and status, and one recalled him bragging, "I'll never get trapped," which obviously he felt he was at that point. And finally, Cherica's 911 call became a teaching tool for emergency dispatchers, an example of victim survival communication under trauma, and obviously the ability to react to the situation in a certain quickly manner in order to have a chance to have the person survive. So in this case, the baby did survive, which is amazing, although it did have brain damage. After Ray served 19 years, he was released in October of 2018 from prison. He wrote to Cherica's mother, Sandra Adams, asking to see his son. Her response was grace and steel. "I forgave him years ago," she said, "but Ray will never be be the father in his life." Today, Chancellor Lee Adams lives with cerebral palsy, a living reminder of love's endurance amid tragedy. The Rae Carruth story isn't just about a murder, it's about control, fear, and the illusion of invincibility. A rising star who tried to control his fate ended up destroying everything he touched. Cherika's courage, her 911 call, and her son's survival remind us that truth always finds a voice. And the crazy part, I think Ray now has a relationship with his son. I don't know the depths of that relationship, but he does have a relationship with his son. It's a crazy case. It actually, the number of years he got, he could easily could have been in jail for a lifetime, um, especially with him running. It's an absolutely crazy case, but it's one that's a tale of make sure you understand the people that you're with, get to know them before you enter into intimate relationships with them because it can lead you down a path and trust in God's will and you'll be in a better position. In this case, both Rae Carruth and Cherika Adams were in a difficult situation, and Rae Carruth acted in a manner that was not prudent, which ended his life, ended her life, not ended his life, but set back his life, ended her life, put him in jail for a long time, and certainly created a very difficult situation for their child who lives with cerebral palsy. Um, for Bloodlines and Betrayal, I'm David Schumann. This has been another great episode. If you found this story powerful, please subscribe and share. Next week, we'll explore another collision between fame and a fatal choice. Until then, stay curious, stay human. Never forget, some voices echo forever.